Welcome back. My name is Cindy, and on this channel, I help you to pinpoint ways on how to improve your romantic and parental relationships. But in this video, I will be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 10. So be sure to like this video, subscribe, and click that notification bell. So Dr. Viviana finally makes her appearance this season, and she is calling everybody out. Did you guys notice that she hugged everyone except for Chris? Like, she just isn't here for Chris. I've been wanting to review Married at First Sight for years, but I was afraid to get in front of the camera, and somehow I decided this year was the year, and of course, the most challenging season to review. Like, these couples are driving me crazy. There are so many mismatches this season. Let's get started. First things first, Virginia actually did not drink this episode. Yay! I was real proud of her. She was a bit more tolerable and marriage-minded this episode. Eric and Virginia are very touchy-feely people, and they use that to avoid talking about the issues that they have in their marriage. They talk about how much they are attracted to each other and they can't keep their hands off each other, but they differ in a lot of areas. When Dr. Viviana sat down with them, she was asking them, what are some of the challenges or maybe roadblocks in their marriage? They were not clear. They were kind of talking in circles. And Eric, of course, was over talking Virginia. They share that they have different views on a lot of things. I mean, Eric is more on the conservative side. Virginia is more liberal and wild. And so there's going to be a lot of bumping heads. And Eric mentioned how if she doesn't want to have children, that he's out. And I don't know if it was editing, but it seemed like Eric was coming across really just rude and obnoxious this episode. I've been rooting for him, but he was really annoying tonight. Dr. Viviana encouraged them to be introspective and open-minded so they can possibly meet in the middle. Eric keeps saying that he's trying to meet Virginia in the middle, but he is very firm on his beliefs. She seems very firm on her beliefs. So it's going to be a challenge for them to get on the same page. Eric opened up about how many of his exes in his past relationships had cheated on him. So I guess that's why he is coming across very controlling this season. And he's trying to, keep Virginia on lockdown. Virginia opened up about how she felt like a pawn in her parents' divorce. It is very hard for children to navigate divorce. As a person who has been divorced, I'm very intentional about not involving my daughter in adult issues, not making her feel like she needs to pick sides or be in the middle. So Virginia was saying how she had cut off her dad for a couple of years, then her mom up and moved away. So she was living with her aunt. She started to reconnect with her dad. And so she's very concerned about having children because she doesn't want them to experience some of the things that she experienced. And Eric, on the other hand, is saying how he would never do this. He would never act like that. But divorce can really bring out the worst in people. They are currently riding the wave of this honeymoon phase, and they're trying to avoid talking about things that will actually affect their marriage. So they opened up to each other and went a bit deeper this episode, but I still feel like they are not a match. And I'm wondering how they are going to navigate these conversations, because Eric is always trying to overtalk and interrupt Virginia, which is very rude and annoying. Even when they had the exercise where they each talk for 5 minutes uninterrupted, he just could not help himself. He was just like interjecting and like trying to correct her and like put in his 2 cents. I don't see how they're going to make this marriage work. Next, we have Brianna and Vincent. They sat down with Dr. Viviana, and initially they were saying how they get along, that they enjoy each other's playful side, and they're always being silly with each other. And then Dr. Viviana called them out. She was saying how she's privy to a lot of the interactions that they have, and based on what she knows, the playful side has caused some rifts in their marriage. So Vincent opened up and told her about the champagne and the salsa dance experience, and he was able to take accountability for his actions, and he apologized to Brianna. Dr. Viviana suggested that, he asks questions for clarity to, be sure he understands where she's coming from. And then she also told him that being perfect is boring. It's okay if he misses the mark sometimes. And Bree was very reassuring. She let him know how she accepts him for who he is. And Dr. Viviana told them, it's important to leave room for each other to be 100% themselves, because, that's how you build true intimacy. When you're too busy trying to be perfect or come across a certain way, then you start to make each other feel like you can't be 100% yourself, and that can definitely cause problems. I do feel like Vincent is willing to work on the things that he needs to work on, especially with his communication, in order to make this marriage work. Later on in the episode, Vincent surprised Brianna with a sweet little romantic date in their bedroom. And, they asked each other questions. They were being a little corny, but it was cute. So they're going to continue to grow, in my opinion. And I'm looking forward to seeing how things continue to unfold for them. Next, we have Ryan and Clara. So prior to Dr. Viviana having her sit down with them, they had sent all the couples some questions to ask each other. And some of the questions was about their sex life. And of course, Ryan was very awkward and weird and didn't know how to really answer the questions. One of the questions asked, what's his favorite position? And he was like, he takes it as it comes. And it's like, really, Ryan, that's the best you can come up with? So I do think that he is uncomfortable talking about sex on camera because he is religious, and both of his parents are ministers. But the thing is, Ryan, you are married now, so it is okay to talk about sex with your wife. He kind of reminds me of Iris from season 9. They both have this immature way about them when it comes to talking about sex. Clara expressed her frustration when they sat down with Dr. Viviana. Dr. Viviana had asked them, what is it that they need in order to take their relationship to that level? And Ryan said that he feels like he needs trust. Clara was basically like, I'm already there. I'm just waiting on him. And Ryan explained that he needs to feel like they are building a foundation. But it's like, bruh, you are on Married at First Sight. Did you forget this is an 8-week process? So yes, I understand it is important to have a foundation and you shouldn't rush things. But at the same time, you signed up for an 8-week process, which means this is going to be an accelerated way of getting to know someone. And he's acting like they have all the time in the world. I mean, decision day will be here soon. And Clara, on the other hand, is extremely frustrated. And she also opened up about how sex is just sex to her. She doesn't have an emotional connection when it comes to having sex. Ryan is the opposite because he's looking for a deep connection. Claire had also made mention that she was in a 3-year relationship and she felt like they were having sex maybe 3 times a year. So she's just sexually frustrated all the way around. And I feel like when your partner is withholding intimacy, there's a part of you that feels rejected. And I can see that Claire just wants to feel like she's desired and that Ryan wants to be with her. And I think that they could benefit from a coach helping them to figure out their sex life. But aside from their sex life, they have other issues like the religious aspect. They don't seem to agree on a lot of other little things that can turn into big things, and even how they're going to raise their children. So they have quite a few things that they need to work through. And like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of mismatches this season, and I don't really feel like Ryan and Clara are a match. Next, we have Jacob and Hayley. Hayley keeps saying that she wants to make the marriage work, but her actions do not match up. Am I missing something? Comment below and let me know, what is it that Hayley is doing to actually make the marriage work? She also mentioned during the time that they were sitting down with Dr. Viviana that she's doing all the work. They did a flashback of when she had asked him to have a drink with her, and then also when she bought him the clothes. So I'm just wondering, what work is she referring to? To me, it seems like she's trying to avoid Jake at any cost. So what am I missing, guys? What am I missing? What is it that she's doing to make this marriage work? It feels like she's trying to get through the 8 weeks and then run. She mentioned that if they were dating, she would have been out already. And so I feel like she is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. She's trying to save face and get through the process, but at the same time, she does not like Jake. And Dr. Viviana said that she felt like there was potential. I don't see any potential, because even a blind man can see that Hayley does not like Jake. Like, it just is point blank, period. She's not into him. She doesn't like him. She doesn't enjoy being around him. She seems to always be frustrated. And anytime he tries to bring up any questions in regards to being together, developing a connection, she just wants to talk about something else. She did mention how she was hoping to find someone that would complement her life. So I'm not sure if she came on here for a traveling buddy because she likes to travel, or what is it that she is actually looking for. I do feel like she has a lot of growing to do, especially being in a relationship, let alone a marriage. I don't feel like she should have been chose for this process, because she does have a lot of work to do within herself. And even when she said that she spent the night with Paige, it's like, girl, you just got married and you and your husband are kind of going through something, and you thought that was the appropriate time to spend the night out with your friend. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's a lot of things that are not making sense to me when it comes to Hayley and Jake. And Jake was looking at her, as Viviana was asking her the questions, and then she started crying, and Jake had me cracking up because he was like giving her the side eye, like, girl, bye. It's like she was crying, but I felt like it wasn't genuine. And I feel like she feels more so bad that she doesn't want to come across like a bad person, as opposed to not really wanting to hurt Jake's feelings, because her dishonesty is more hurtful than anything. When someone is being dishonest, it's like a sign of disrespect in my book. So I feel like her always like trying to avoid questions or answer in a way that leaves room for confusion is not healthy. They were not even sleeping in the same bed. So Dr. Viviana brought them into the bedroom and she sat them down, and she was saying how connection starts when you open your eyes in the morning. So she suggested that they have a good morning kiss and a good night kiss. And it's like, yeah, that's all like cool and everything. But the thing is, because she doesn't like him, it's gonna be hard for them to do that. And it's like, where was this pep talk, or where were these suggestions at the beginning of their marriage? I feel like the experts have definitely been MIA this season, and these kind of talks and chats would have been way more beneficial prior to them having all of the discord that they have in their marriage right now. So it's a little too late to just keep trying to reset when she has pretty much made up her mind that she's all set with Jake. It feels like they are forcing these couples to be a match this season, and it's really annoying because at the end of the day, she doesn't like him. And so there's a potential for them to build a friendship. Dr. Viviana had mentioned the non-romantic friend zone, and of course, Jake was looking at Hayley like, okay, like, what's up? What do you have to say for yourself? Because, as she mentioned, Jake is trying to meet her halfway. Anything that she says that she needs, he provides for her. So he's the one, in my opinion, making the bigger effort, because he's trying to meet her halfway, and she's just rejecting the person that he is. I don't get the sense that Hayley is trying to get to know Jake and really connect with him. I feel like Hayley's just going through the motions, and when decision day comes, she's absolutely going to say no. Last but not least, Chris and Paige. I still am trying to figure out what they are still doing on the show. Chris gives me a headache. Paige is delusional, and I'm just over it. Chris greeted Paige like she was the homie both times he came to the apartment, and it's just annoying. He's very childish, and I feel like he's just playing games with her at this point. And she is making herself so available to collect any kind of crumbs Chris has to give her. And during the time that they were sitting down with Dr. Viviana, she started to dumb down herself and tell Dr. Viviana how she's like a basic girl and all she's looking for is for Chris to at least call her once a day. It's like, girl, at this point, you shouldn't be waiting and hoping for his calls. You should be praying that he never calls you again, because he's put you through too much. I don't understand what is it that you're trying to accomplish by holding on to him. She keeps acting like there's hope in this marriage and that, you know, she's so committed and that she made these vows. And it's almost like, what planet is Paige living on? She was committed to what she said on their wedding day, but once the reception hit, he just started to dog her out. So I'm just like, why are you still so committed? Like, I'm just really confused. Actually, I just feel like they are trying to be on TV at this point, and they are creating a show for the show, because some of the things that are happening are just so mind-blowing. It's just like, this cannot be real life. And then Chris was saying how he is putting the thoughts of divorce on pause. It's like, Chris, shut up. Like, shut up. You just saying anything at this point, and it's annoying. And even when Paige was saying that she wanted him to, you know, call her at least once a day, his response was he doesn't want to feel pressure. Pressure to do what exactly? You know, just throw the whole segment away. Just throw the whole segment away. I can't with these two. Chris tries to use depression as an excuse for his behavior. I just can't with Chris. Like, he's just seen too much, and he's just saying anything at this point. He suggests that they have a Bible study date. I'm really annoyed with the way Chris and Paige both try to include God in this foolishness. It's like they're making a mockery of God, and it's really upsetting. Right before he came over for the Bible study date, the show decided they were going to play gospel music in the background. I thought that was a bit shady. And so he comes, he brings over food, and he tells her to pray over the food. And it's just like, you're supposed to be a man of God. What are you leading? You can't even lead prayer. He seems to always want to put everything back on Paige. And of course, she's sitting there, you know, doing as he requests. So, you know, she blesses the food. They start eating. And here go Chris again with his shenanigans. He decides to throw another bomb in Paige's face and lets her know that, I guess, Mercedes, aka the mother of his child, had been in an accident 6 years ago, and so she hadn't been driving, and he decided to gift her a brand new Benz. And I'm like, really, Chris? Really? And here go Paige. I understand, you know, no man wants the mother of their child to be taking public transportation, but a new car, and it's like, they talk about the mother of his child as if the baby has already arrived. And here go Chris. I'm going to be bringing a king or queen into the world. So, you know, I just want them to have the best. I'm just done. Their shenanigans have gone to a whole nother level, and I'm just over it. Like, I just don't understand what is really going on. Comment below and let me know what you thought about tonight's episode. Join me here next week. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.